So there are a few light novels for One Piece. I have read the 2 Ace ones. First one is god-awful, do not recommend. Second one, solid, very much solid, would recommend. The Law backstory here was recently published in English. It had been in French, I knew, for a long time, and I kept wanting to buy it. I'm like, I don't speak French. Do I learn French just to read this? I was willing to try. I can't do languages. I'm very bad at it. But yay, English translation now. So, Law backstory definitely falls within solid. Is the writing phenomenal? No, it's nothing grand about the writing. The dialogue kind of sucks a lot of the time. It's a little bit spelled out, oh, this is exactly what I'm feeling, and I'm just going to say it straight to you, and I'm just like, oh, would Lass phrase it like that? Maybe he's around family now. I don't know if it's fine. It's fine. The story itself is good. Fast-paced, easy read. We cover from the time of leaving Doflamingo's group and after a death of a wonderful, lovely character, and his journey to rediscover that humanity is not terrible, because keep in mind, his child backstory is a lot of trauma, people judging him, distrusting him, and being prejudiced against him because of a disease that he has, and they believe it can be spread and just be horrible people for that. Relearning the good in humanity, caring for people, getting his crew, his family, and I like that. I love seeing moments where the Hurt Pirates get bonded together. They train together, they're eating the same meal together, they are a family, and I love that. This definitely adds to the story from Law, where I think Ace's backstory ones were good, the second one, I'm not referring to the first one, and it helped solidify that the author understood the character, but I don't feel like it added anything that we didn't already know from the manga. This one here, I feel like it did add something. I like the Hurt Pirates in the anime and the manga, but we didn't see why Law was so bound to those. We could assume there was enough context there, but I like actually seeing it. So this was absolutely wonderful. I do think it adds something to his character. Is it a good read? I maintain the writing is fine. It is fine. It's not bad. And yeah, no, I do recommend this one. Is Law a character? No, I don't think so. He's pretty much in character at the beginning, and then the rest of the time, he is with his friends and newfound family, so I feel he's allowed to be a little bit more open to them. So, I was hoping to get a little bit more about the Abat fruit and its powers. We kind of sidelined that a little bit in terms of, hey, this is a very powerful devil fruit, you don't have great control over it yet, how about we kind of keep this a little bit more on the secret side. Also, it's just way too overpowered. You'd be able to take down the enemy right away. So I didn't even say much about what this is about. He gets his kind of mentor after Corazon and just has a home in the North Blue to return to after the manga's over and be like, see this old man, I made it. I recommend this one. On to Past Jessica reading the novel for the first time. All right, 25-page check-in, and I'm not saying I cried, but I may have been feeling emotions. We start, like, immediately after Law has left Corazon, and he is just trudging through the snow trying to survive. I don't want to die. I can't stop now. Those thoughts were the only things that kept my feet moving. With each step, snow crunched softly underfoot. I wondered how far I had walked. All I could see in any direction were fir trees and a world of silvery white. I couldn't guess how far I had to go until I reached the town Cora had told me about. And he is literally living right now. So Corazon hadn't died for nothing. He's thinking about the effects that it had on him to save his life, to the point that he's like, I won't die here, takes out a scalpel, stabs himself in the leg to wake himself up enough to keep moving. He's like, what if that draws predators here towards me? They smell blood. I guess I gotta keep moving. And he, like, nearly dies getting to a town where he meets someone and he goes to ask for help, but he's been so traumatized from the past, all the times people had rejected him, persecuted against him because of the white lead disease, been turned away from hospitals, and just be looked at with such disgust, and he was only living to cause destruction. That's why he joined Doflamingo's group. He was so angry at the world, and Corazon gave him that reason to live. He meets someone at the front door area of the new town, and she's like, oh my god, your face. And he thinks it's from the white lead disease, so he's like, I can't take this. He takes off running. He can't trust anybody. But more than likely, what she's seen was, like, the frostbitten face he had. And then even though he's eaten the op fruit, he doesn't know how to use it yet. It didn't instantly cure him. Death had been pursuing me, and now it was just around the corner. I could feel it. My muscles were already going weak. I toppled backwards. No, I can't give up yet. The op fruit was Cora's life work. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for his determination to get me that fruit. I have to survive. I can't let his death be for nothing. I refuse to let that happen. I yelled out loud. I couldn't let Cora's kindness, that last smile he gave me, mean nothing. Never. My heart pounded in my chest. The pulse grew stronger and fierce. And that's when he activates the Abbat fruit for the first time, getting a surgical room where he then removes his liver, isolates all the white lead to one spot in the liver, and then removes liver, puts it on a barrel, and just cuts it out, screaming in pain because he can feel this, before putting his liver back inside him and then immediately passing out from the pain. And when he wakes, he is in a random bedroom. And again, he's a very much not a trustful person. So when someone comes in offering him a bowl of soup, he pulls out his scalpel, jumps around, holds the scalpel to the buddy's neck, thinking he's going to be sold out back to Doflamingo, and he's turning him in for like a bounty. Old man then proceeds to throw him off his back and pound him down into the floor, and it's just like, yeah, you're not getting the better of me, kid. And he's a little bit shocked. Still not trusting him, clearly. The old man just takes a bit of soup and eats it himself. It's like, not poisoned, eat. So he eats the soup, like, so happy. He's like, gobbles it all down. Old man gets him another bowl. They slowly start to trust each other. And the old man smiles. It's described as like like he brought home an alley cat who's finally let down his guard. And they're talking, and the old man's just like, I give nothing for free. You take what you get what you take. Yeah, give and take. And is like, in exchange for me saving you, and really, I really didn't do much. I'm no hero. I just found you passed out in the snow and brought you home. I didn't do anything. But tell me your story. That'll be your payment. And La just unleashes everything. Tells him everything except the fact that he had the Abbat fruit. Just told him like a different surgeon was able to heal him. And finally, he has someone to trust. He feels so good letting this all off his chest. And the old man is just like, nice to meet you. If you need a place to stay, you can stay here, but you gotta work for me. And for like half a second, I'm like, he's gonna betray us, isn't he? I'm a distrustful person. But no, we're getting good vibes from him. Turns out this guy's name is Wolf, and he's an inventor. He engineers all these kind of gadgets, like something that'll clean your house completely, get rid of all the garbage. Yeah, but it'll explode in like 3 minutes if it's left on too long and destroy your entire house. A device that means you don't have to heat up wood. It boils water instantly. But you can't control the temperature, so eventually it'll just boil forever and it'll all evaporate. So not the greatest inventor, but La's now going to work for him. All right, end of chapter 1. So we met Bepo. Sweet boy. Our polar bear was being attacked by 2 hooligans. Said hooligans, one with a casquette, that's a dumb name for a hat, baseball hat, and the other one with a hat that said penguin on it. They were beating up Bepo. I do remember this from one of the SPS chapters, I think, probably. But yeah, they were beating up Bepo. La took issue with that, but says he didn't take issue with that. He's just like, what are you doing? And then they try to attack La, and he uses room to put up the dome and throws a rock up in the air, replaces them, they fall, knock themselves down. He's like, that was easy. He goes to leave. Bepo comes to thank him, and he's just like, I only helped because they attacked me. It was nothing about you. But they go back to a cave, they have a chat. Beppo's brother went missing from the new world on Zoe, and he got on the wrong ship going to look for him and ended up in the North Blue. He's been learning how to navigate, wants to improve that skill. La makes a joke about him being a stupid animal. Kind of cruel there. Bepo joke, not really jokes. I think he was serious about hanging himself for that. So like, good riddance, the world's better off without me. And La's like, stop it, I was kidding. And it's like, why didn't you fight back when those 2 boys were beating you up? And he's just like, I thought we could be friends afterwards. Bepo is too pure, too good for this world. We love Bepo. So La brings him back to Wolf's house. He's like, hey, I got a new friend. He does not say friend. And Wolf is just like, stop bringing people back to my house. This is my house. And he's like, yeah, he's staying, right? Yeah, he can stay. So they help out around the house. We're doing some vegetable farming, whatever, in like a greenhouse thing this inventor has made, and it actually works. And then all of a sudden, explosion! They go racing off towards the explosion, find Penguin and baseball cap guy whose name we learn later. Actually, something like that. Might just stick with baseball cap guy. And he is like gored through the stomach, and Penguin has lost an arm. So they carry them back to Wolf's house. La has to perform surgery then and there. And he says that he's not doing this to be thanked. He's not doing it because he's a good person. He's just doing it for his pride as a doctor. And it's kind of beautiful because it's what his parents had instilled upon him. It's everything he has worked for, everything he has learned. It's just like, I will save them, and I will do this the harder way. Like, I could just patch up the arm and call it a day, but no, I will reconnect it. It will work. I will fix him. I will heal him. He will go off and live a good life because I am a damn good doctor. And he does it. He has to stay up there for hours trying to patch him up. Wolf has to donate blood and nearly passes out from it, but they're able to save their lives. They wake up so grateful. Apologize to Bepo for everything that's happened to them. We learn their backstory. Their parents had, both their sets of parents have been killed in a tsunami. They survived said incident. Watched their parents get washed out to sea, which is just terrifying. Was taken in by Shashi's aunt, who then used them as basically slaves for her illegal business running weapons and jewelry and just merchandise. So they ran away from that and have been hiding out in the woods ever since. A boar attacks them, got baseball cap in the gut, and when Penguin went to help out by throwing a bomb thing that he had stolen from the town, yeah, it ended up exploding in his hand, hence loss of arm. So La's like, all right, why don't you be my followers? Bepo's already won. Bepo's like, I am? Cool. And the other two are like, yeah, we'll join you. And Wolf's like, stop inviting people into my house. It's like, can they stay? Yes, they can stay. So that's chapter 1. All right, chapter 2 check-in. We've gone into town. Wolf gave them an endorsement to a bunch of different places to work, I guess earn more money, skills, whatever. Beppo's working in a factory. Penguin's working in a restaurant as a waiter. And Shashi's working as a beauty hair assistant, something like that. And La, of course, is working at the local hospital, doctor's office, whatever. They then go to everyone also is very kind and caring. Apparently the village had been attacked by pirates in the past. They rebuilt, and a genuine camaraderie and caring to others is present here. So no one is judging anybody, and the kids all feel very safe and loved and cared for. And it's beautiful. They then go to a manor where it was Shashi's uncle, the one who has been terrorizing them, beating them, forced them into the trades of gun trafficking and violence and robbing jewelry stores, and apparently they're also in child abduction, smuggling them off the island. They didn't know about that. But Wolf knocks on their door. She's like, hey, you were messing with my kids. And then proceeds to punch him in the gut for insulting Penguin and Shashi here. And then calls the cops on him. Hey, the past month I've been getting evidence. Here's all the evidence I got on this group. Take them all down. Turns to the kids. You are not useless. You are cared for. You are mine. I protected you, and they are going down. You don't have to worry about them again, and it's beautiful. So now they're doing their individual jobs, and we learn about a treasure on Swallow Island. 60 years ago, an infamous band of pirates came to this island, but they had been infected with a plague during their travels, and they all died when they got here. Before they died, the captain supposedly hid their treasure somewhere on the island. So I'm assuming we're going for the treasure. All right, now they're talking about a swallow, a bird that can swim under the sea, the opposite of a devil fruit. I'm interested. Canon or not, I'm interested. All right, so Wolf was apparently flying an airplane with no one around, and yeah, it crashed. He almost died. La had to use his devil fruit power to save him, but mostly was his doctor-surgeon skills because, you know, he actually had to do the surgery, and this just gave him control over everything and multiple scalpels. He got a really bad headache halfway through, almost collapsed, had to force himself to keep going as he was using the devil fruit at its, like, maximum capacity. And then he goes into town while they've all rearranged their schedule, so someone's always with him to take care of him. Everyone's very proud of La right now. No one's brought up the devil fruit thing. And he runs into a tattoo artist, and it's like, hey, you're the one staying with Wolf? Yeah, I am. Hey, are you free for a tattoo? Sure, come on in. And despite all the traditions of tattooing and everything, his first tattoo, unless it's said earlier that he has any other ones, is his hand tattoo. You're not supposed to get a hand tattoo for your first tattoo. I'm just saying, but fine. So he gets death across his fingers, and the reason for my choice wasn't that profound. I wanted it because, as a doctor, I always wanted to remind myself that death was close at hand. I want to know at all times that I had the power to keep people alive, to keep those I cared about from dying. It was important to me to remember that the lives and death of those I was working with were in my hands. So, very interesting. This is a lot of La really come to terms and appreciating what it means to be a doctor, the pride that his parents had in that, what it means to be a good doctor, what it means to be a surgeon, and the power it holds, what it makes him feel. It's really good. All right, Wolf's talking to him about the abap fruit. The abap fruit is something called the ultimate devil fruit, and that's not because you can use it to perform surgeries and heal people. Those who master the power of the abap fruit can perform something called the immortality operation. It's a procedure that gives another person eternal life. The immortality operation? I've never heard of that, I murmured. I feel that's a lie. I feel like he knew Doflamingo wanted it for that reason. It might sound like a wonderful power, but it comes with a terrible price. Performing the operation will cost the user his own life. It's a miracle that can only perform one time, because it will result in your death. A surgery that costs your own life, I wondered. The idea was incredible to me. Everyone in the world who knows about it wants to get a hold of that fruit, and there are even more who seek to use the one who possesses its power for their own advantages. You should never, ever tell anyone else that you've eaten this fruit, La. People will flock to you with all sorts of devious plots to get you to perform the immortality operation. That's how intensely powerful the fruit is, and the allure of it holds to others. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping for a clue that might be more relevant for the series, like how you use the immortality thing. Is it the soul swapping thing involved? I wasn't expecting it to be in a light novel thing here, but it would have been nice. One little hint. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, chapter 3 got me a little bit by surprise. So, La was leaving work when he found a pirate crew attacking the village, and it's got the Jolly Roger of a skull, like, biting on a gold coin. They called Wolf for backup, and when he shows up, it's like, oh, it's you. We know now this is the pirate crew that had attacked the village previously, and it turns out to be Wolf's son, Becca? Don't know. So they have like a very brief conversation, and then the son takes out Wolf, and like it was nothing. We know Wolf isn't kind of a slouch. La's the only one who had stood a chance with him when they were training back at outside the village. Then La challenges him, and he shoots something out of his eyes, like laser beams, and they avoid it, but while they're discussing, all of a sudden, the doctor from the village comes out and tries to stab La, and I'm like, is everyone here just betraying me? But, oh, also, Wolf used to be a member of his son's crew and was there when they attacked the village the first time and left because, you know, son's a monster, and said, you're no longer my son. But I'm like, doctor's attacking us? I like the doctor because he's helping La learn. It's been much time and all that, and it's wonderful. No, he's been hypnotized, so all the villagers are attacking La. That I guess were hit by that beam, maybe? Who knows? La's also having a moment of realization that he's been having nightmares about Cora and Doflamingo. He read an article about Doflamingo taking over Dressrosa, and while he's fighting this Baka person, suddenly our eyes met. He had clouded eyes of a villain, but I saw no hesitation in them. There was only malice and murderous intent. He was perfectly focused on putting an end to me if it brought him closer to his goals. Is that it? Is that the difference in our strengths right now? I recalled the nightmare I've been having for the last several nights and was reminded of Cora, Doflamingo, and Dressrosa. I knew that I had unfinished business and that there were things I still had to take care of, but I didn't have the determination to see them through. Fulfilling Cora's wish was something I would do someday, not now, which is why I hesitated and fretted. Now it felt like the hesitation was the difference between me and the man I faced. His urgency, his will to do what needed to be done, was a force that overwhelmed me and dulled my movements. I'm going to lose this fight. So, I guess this is going to be what snaps him out of things to get moving to be his own pirate crew. Okay, I'm happy because we just got the submarine. We got the yellow submarine, and I'm happy. So they go back to Wolf's place. He explains to them that his son ate the melt fruit, and they also have 24 hours to save the civilians, or they'll all die from the effects of his devil fruit. He shows them to his hidden secret lab, where they grab a katana. I'm assuming that one's going to be Laz as well, or maybe it's one of the Wolf's inventions, who knows? But we get the yellow sub, and I'm so happy. The sound of propeller reverberating through the underground base is the sound that people have been hearing thinking was a bird, and the swallow that flies beneath the sea was the sub that he had taken out during test drives. And now they're just under the water, and they're heading out to kind of sneak around to get to the center of the village and save everybody. And Laj just like, so what's the plan? Like, are we gonna go just to the other side of the island? Or he's like, no, this sub is made from really hard steel, and we're just gonna smash up through the earth and surprise them in the center. And they're like, what? I did not know his sub could do this, but apparently it can. I also love the moment where La was saying, like, after eating the devil fruit, he didn't think he'd ever be able to, like, be underwater again, but he can look out and he's, like, in a sub and he's under the water and it's not affecting him. It was very sweet. But yeah, they crashed through the earth and started fighting pirates. There was a major difference between now and in the past. When I fought for Doflamingo, I believed in nothing and acted on nothing beyond my impulse to cause as much damage in the world as I could before I died. Things were different now. There were people and places that I wanted to protect. The lives and the residents of Pleasure Town and my dearest friends were hanging in the balance. I couldn't afford to lose. It wasn't an option. So Ladoga was the original owner of the treasure, and Wolf's son came here looking for it. And it turns out the treasure was real, but Wolf found it many years ago, used the money to rebuild the town that his son had destroyed, and had enough money left over to purchase very strong metal for the submarine. Cool. Alright, so Penguin, Shashi, and Bepo went after a sumo guy that was like the right-hand man, only other good fighter in the pirate crew. And they were getting their ass kicked a little bit. Baseball Cap and Penguin were both doing a pretty good job standing up, but they were outmatched. Then all of a sudden, Bepo looks up at the sky and realizes, hey, full moon, Sulong transformation, beast out, attacked the samurai sumo guy, and that was all she wrote after the other two threw their weapons at him in the back of the head. So all's well. And then they had to jump on Bepo and cover his eyes to reverse the transformation. And now they're all going to find La, who they believe will have already taken down the captain by now, but not yet. It's also very dark down here. I'm gonna have to move. I don't have a lamp. I need a lamp. All right, so La defeated that pirate guy with essentially a defibrillator attack, because, you know, water-based melting ability conducts electricity. The sword he was using with a button could also conduct electricity, which helped a lot. But what happened was he took the energy, the electricity that the body has between organs and neurons and natural conduction of electricity, isolated all to like his thumb and went bzzz, and just that's how we won. Wolf ended up waking up after taking a hit for La. He thought he was like knocked out cold, but he got up, got a knife, was about to kill his own son, end the chaos and tyranny that he's been inflicting upon everyone. But La convinces him to stop, saying, "The man who saved me was killed by his own brother. I won't watch family kill each other anymore. Please, for me, stop." So lets him live. Is he in jail? I don't know. Did they put him in a bubble? Send him to Sabadi? I don't know where this man is now. Not told. And then La explains that he's ready to go off and be a pirate, his own adventures, his own journey. And Wolf is 100% fine with letting him go. Of course, Bepo and Penguin and Shashi, I don't like that name, all agree to go with him. They're given the Polar Tang, which has a different name. I forget what Buddy called it. All his inventions have terrible names. We just ignore the names because the kids change it anyway. So they get the submarine and they're off on their adventure, and then we have a flash forward where the old man is reading a newspaper. Someone brings a newspaper to him, and he sees that the Hurt Pirates, which is what they've been called and named themselves, broke up a smuggling organization that was trafficking children and innocents and all that. It's like, yeah, we did that on a whim, and then just snuck off. And he's watching their bounties increase, and he's very proud of his boys, and we see La with his new crew as they're about to venture out onto the Grand Line. So overall, a nice journey for La's backstory. I like that we got to see more of him with his crew, because we've seen in the anime and the manga that his crew love him so much. They are loyal. They will never abandon their captain. We see the loyalty that they have and how much they care for him. But it was nice to actually read a book where that is on full display. We see them have lunch together around the table. We see them training together. La trains them and is like, if you fail to take this pirate down, that's an insult on me. I'm the one who trained you. Don't you dare lose. And of course, they did not lose. I liked it. This was very nice. Was it well written? God, no. It's like a YA kind of writing style. It's fine. It's a shonen manga series. I don't expect a certain writing style, and this was fine. It was serviceable. It was good. It was easy to read. Very fast pace. 2 days to get through all of it. I probably could have done in one. Definitely recommends. Good backstory. That's all I got. Talk to you later. Bye.